If we want to make sure that we're spending our time in the ways that matter most to us, so that we're creating the kind of life that we want to live, then we have to be intentional with how we're spending that time. And one of the best ways to do that is to create a plan for your week. It's not necessarily about getting more and more done. It's about being more intentional about how we're spending our time. For me, having a system for managing my time has always been essential. And that was true back when I worked full time as an attorney. And it's still true now as a business owner where I'm self-employed and have full control of my own schedule, because it has always helped me balance the different priorities that I have in the various areas of my life. Now, what that planning process looks like has varied over the years, but the thing that's always been true is that I've always had some kind of process that worked for me based on where I was and what I needed in my life at that moment. Today, I'm going to be sharing my weekly planning process with you, and I'm going to be sharing some principles and tools to help you build a weekly planning process that works for you. Hi, I'm Scarlett Cochran, and this is One Big Happy Life, where we help you create the life that you want. Today, I'm going to be walking you through real-time, step-by-step, the process that I use to plan my week. Now, I'm filming this episode on a Monday, and normally I plan my week on Sunday, but I decided to wait to plan my week today because I knew that I was going to be shooting this episode today, and so I wanted to be able to do it real time. So one important principle to be aware of here right off the bat is that your routine should be flexible. So I have my ideal weekly planning routine where I sit down, I review my prior week, I look at what I accomplished. So I look for wins, I look for areas of opportunity, I look for ways that I can improve to get closer to my goals for the following week. And while I do find that process really valuable, and I do recommend that you have some sort of weekly review process, it's also important to make sure that on the weeks where you can't get to, say, that more lengthy review process, that it doesn't stop you from planning your week. It's also important to make sure that the weeks where you can't get to that lengthy review process, or where you're traveling and the day when you would normally do your weekly review and planning, you can't do it that day, that you keep that flexibility in your system so that you just do it at the next available time. So you want to make sure that you have just a bare minimum planning process. So you have your minimum floor that's quick and easy to execute. And so that's what I'm going to be showing you here today. Before I dive into the screen share and show you my actual step-by-step planning process, I wanted to share a couple more guiding principles behind this process. So number one, right now, my planning process is very much guided by soft living and soft entrepreneurship principles, which means that we're intentionally making time for what matters to us. We're intentionally prioritizing rest and joy and hobbies. It's not about the grind and doing more and getting more and more done and getting to the destination as quickly as possible. It is about finding the right balance for us that allows us to enjoy our lives while also reaching towards our most important and valued goals. It's about intentionally designing our lives around our personal values and vision so that we are creating a life that we want. Intentionally deciding what kind of life you want and what kind of life you're creating is a process, and it's a practice. And we do this work inside of your next chapter. And so if this is something that you'd be interested in exploring more, then check out the link in the description box or head to onebighappylife.com/next and join me for my next Your Next Chapter workshop. The second core principle of my weekly planning process is that it's goals informed, meaning that I have set intentions and goals for what I want my next week to look like, what I want my next month to look like, what I want my next year to look like, again, informed by my vision and values. And so what I decide to do when inside of my weekly planning is going to be also aimed at working towards the various goals that I've decided are important to me. And so as I start putting things in the calendar, I'll be talking a little bit about why I'm putting each thing where and which of my goals it connects to. And what this does is it helps me prioritize what is most important, because at the end of the day, there's always going to be more demands for my time than there are hours in the day. So at some point, you have to make decisions about what's going to be a now, what's going to be a later, and what might even be a never. And the way that we do that is having our goals, which again are based on our vision for what we want our lives to be. And the final principle is that I am a firm believer in time blocking, meaning that we're assigning minutes and hours in the day to accomplish our tasks. Time blocking, again, helps me prioritize because I have to decide what I'm going to use each hour for. Now, that doesn't mean that I fully block necessarily every single minute of every day, but I do give hours and minutes jobs throughout the week. It also helps me make sure that I'm setting realistic timelines, that I'm not overscheduling, and it gives me awareness and accountability for how I'm actually spending my time. And this is why I really love time blocking, because it is so easy for time to get away from us. I know it's very easy for it to get away from me. And so when I time block, and especially adjusting my time blocks based on what I actually did, then I can look back and see, okay, how much time did this take me? And what did I actually do with my time over the course of the past week? And how much time did I actually lose? Where there are just these huge blank spots and I have no idea what I did with my time because I'm trying to minimize those. All right, now let's hop into the screen share and I will show you my realistic weekly planning routine. Over the years, I've tried a lot of different weekly planning tools from paper to digital, and I strongly prefer digital because for me, it's the easiest to use, it's the easiest to change, and it's the easiest for me to take wherever I am with me because I'll always have my phone or a computer nearby. For many years, I just used regular Google Calendar, but now I use a tool called Morgan. So why do I like Morgan? Starting with what made me switch from just Google Calendar to Morgan, and it's that I like to be able to drag and drop my tasks right on my calendar and check them off right on my calendar. And Google Calendar doesn't allow you to do that. Tasks look kind of wonky in the calendar. You can't check them off, at least last time I checked, which was a while ago because I use Morgan now. And so it just didn't have that functionality that I wanted, but Morgan does have it. And it's simple, it's easy to use, it's easy to duplicate tasks. It syncs with Google Calendar, which is important because I still use Google Calendar. We use Google Calendar as a team here at One Big Happy Life because we use G Suite. And then we also use Google Calendar as a family. So Joseph, Alexis, Reeves, we all have our own individual Google Calendars with our schedules on it, with our work schedules and our extracurricular activities, so that we don't have to constantly ask each other what's going on. We can just look at each other's calendars. So when I'm planning my week, I will frequently pull up everybody else's calendar to see what else is going on with them. So the fact that Morgan integrates with Google G Suite, Google Calendar, and allows me to pull in both my business calendars and my personal calendars all in one place is really awesome. Another thing that I really love about Morgan, which is this really small thing, is that I can adjust my weekly view to show as many days as I want. So I can show a single day, or I can show 9 days or 8 days. And frequently, like I'm going to do today, I want to see more than just 7 days because I like to be able to see the weekend at the end of every week. And so when the week starts on Monday, typically, the calendar will show a Sunday start and then it ends on Saturday, but I like to be able to see Monday to Sunday. And on Sundays, I like to be able to see Sunday to Sunday because I like to anticipate what I'm going to get done on my weekends because I tend to do a lot of personal tasks on the following weekend. Or I need to know if my weekends if there's something coming up on the weekend that's going to make it so that I need to get some other tasks done during the week. And the last thing that Morgan does that I really, really love is that it has automated travel time built in. When you create a new task or event, if you put a location in there, if you put in an address, then Morgan will automatically calculate how long it will take you to get to that place from whatever starting point you indicate inside of Morgan. So you have to choose one particular address. So for me, that's typically my house. And so I love that the drive time is built in. Now, this is something that I used to manually do when I was using Google Calendar. And so this is just done automatically with AI, which I absolutely love. And sure, it saves me maybe 10, 15 minutes a week, but it's just a nice perk that I enjoy about Morgan. When you look at my Morgan calendar, the first thing that you'll notice is it's in light mode. I actually prefer to keep my Morgan calendar in dark mode. So I will show you what that looks like. You can just toggle it from light to dark like this. I like the contrast of dark mode because I do keep this open on my computer screen all the time, even when I'm working. And so typically to follow my schedule over the course of the day, I'll go to the single day and I'll just tuck it away on the far side of my second computer monitor, which is like over here. So then I can glance over at it whenever I want to. But because it's dark, it doesn't like pop out or distract me. So normally I like to keep it in dark mode, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and just put it back into light mode, which you again can toggle with a single key. And so here is the week ahead of me. In Morgan, you can choose how many days you want to show on the calendar. So I'm just going to change that to 8. So now we're looking from Sunday to Sunday. So we can see this whole entire week coming up, including the weekend. The next thing that you'll notice is that I already have some things populating this calendar. Every week, I typically have recurring things depending on what's going on in my schedule. So right now I have my wake up time, I have my get ready for bedtime, I have my sleep time. Those are my ideals. They are reminders to me that this is what my ideal schedule looks like, and this is what I would like to be doing on a regular basis. Also, during the school year, there's drop off and pickup times for Reeves just built into my schedule. Also, any activities that he has going on that I know I'm responsible for every single week, that would also be in my calendar as a recurring event. But right now it is August and his team is on their summer break. So he doesn't have any places to go. So there's none of that on my calendar. So I have my wake up time, I have my get ready for bedtime, I have my sleep time. Another recurring thing that I have on my calendar is my daily stand-up meeting with Alexis, who is the OBM, the online business manager for One Big Happy Life. She manages all of the projects and makes sure that things get done. She also lets me know what the team is waiting on from me so that it will inform what I get done on any particular day. So yeah, things might need to shift around depending on what happens with my meeting with Alexis, but ideally, I will have planned for everything that they need from me based on what I know are already my to-dos. I also have a daily lunch block and a weekly on Wednesdays. I like to do a load of laundry because we run out of workout clothes if I go the whole week without doing laundry. So I do a Wednesday workout load. I will start the laundry in the middle of the day and I will fold the laundry later on that evening. So that's already built into my schedule. I don't need to redo it every single week because I need to do the same thing every single week. And then I also have a note here on Thursdays that I need to register Reeves for a particular event. I have to do this every single Thursday at 5 o'clock. The closer to 5 o'clock I can do it, the better. So it's there as a reminder for me and it's recurring every single week. This week I have a WBS coaching call. It's not every single week. It is once a month. So that's put on my calendar by my team. So it's already there. I also have a private business coaching client that I have a call with them this week. It's already on my calendar. My team already put it on there. I have a doctor's appointment. This is another thing that my team puts on my calendar. And the travel time is already built in because Morgan does that. So this is what my calendar looked like because of either the things that I already auto-scheduled or as things came up, they were put on my calendar. But none of the things that are currently on my calendar are things that I just put in recently. These are all kind of recurring things or that the team popped on my calendar, which is why it's so important for me to review what's already in my calendar when I'm kicking off my weekly planning process, because it can change depending on what's going on. So like next week, I know I don't have a doctor's appointment and I don't have a WBS coaching call. So those things will drop off of my calendar. And that means that I've got more room for other projects during that week. So the other thing you'll notice that's already on my calendar is that there's stuff on there from today. So today is the day that I'm shooting this video. And I went in, even though I hadn't planned my week, and just kind of blocked out what I saw myself doing up to my number one priority of the day, which was shooting this video. And so you can see this is what time it actually is. And this was what time I was supposed to actually finish shooting this video. So what happened? So we're actually kind of more like this. here's where we are. So this video software part, it took me a little bit longer. So I'm just going to stretch that part out. And then I thought I was done outlining this video, but it turned out I needed to do just a little bit more work on it before I started to shoot it. So outlining took me longer than I thought. So I'm just updating this in real time so that you can see what that looks like. So I am going to just copy this and paste it here because they are part of the same task, which is outlining the video. And this is one of the things that I love about Morgan. If a task takes multiple blocks to get it done, so it's like I'm outlining the same video and I did 1 hour this morning and 1 hour this evening, I can just copy that same task and it's not like duplicating the task. Like it's not like two different separate things. I'm allowed to have multiple sessions for a single task that I'm trying to complete that might actually take me multiple sessions. So I'm just going to check these off because they are all already done, except for the shooting the video, which I'm doing right now. So I made my preliminary plan for today for the most part, because again, ideally, I'd plan out my whole week, but sometimes I only have the bandwidth to just plan out one day. So if I was only planning out a single day, it would look something like this, except I would have planned out the entire day. But the only reason I didn't was because I was waiting to do it with you right now live. But this takes me back to the principle that I mentioned earlier in the video, which is that you don't have to follow your plan perfectly in order for the plan to be really effective. Now, the next step would be for me to look at what other things I have that are going on this week that are not on my calendar. So I'll look at Joseph's calendar. I'll look at Alexis's calendar. I'll look at Reeve's calendar. And then I will also look through kind of text messages and things like that to see if there were any kind of get together with friends or tennis things that I haven't put on my schedule. And I know for a fact that I have not put on several tennis things. So I'm going to go do that now. So I know we are playing tennis today from 6:30 to 8:30. So I am just going to block that time off at 6:30 to 8:30. I'm going to put tennis with Joseph and I'm going to make the color green. And then I also know that I am playing tennis on Thursday from 6 to 8. So I'm just going to, it's a tennis match and it's green. And then I'm just going to put a location here just so that you could see what that looks like. Yeah, we'll put Queen City Tennis Shop. And then give Morgan a little bit and it will auto populate. Oop, and I spelled it wrong, but it doesn't even matter. Okay. Okay, and so then you can see the travel time just popped up right there. And then I just remembered I also have tennis here. I am practicing with my partner. And from 4:30 to 6, it is tennis. And then I think, this isn't Wednesday. It's not Thursday, it's Wednesday. So I'm moving that one over. Got that wrong. And then the travel time will just automatically move itself too. So there, it just did. So next thing I'm going to do, these are all of the things that were not on there that needed to be on there. And so the next thing I'm going to do, so both of these should have travel time, but because I don't want to put the actual address of where I'm going, I'm going to do that later. So I have to resolve conflicts. So my private coaching call is happening during my lunchtime, so I need to decide, do I want to move it up or do I want to move it afterwards? And so I'm going to move this one afterwards, only this occurrence, and then I'm going to move this one earlier, only this occurrence. So and then I've got this conflict right here. So given that I have a tennis match on Wednesday, I might move laundry over to Thursday. And so this is what my schedule looks like now with all of my standing appointments built in. The only thing, again, that it's missing is the travel time here, but I know that. All right, so now it's time for me to fill in my week with the other tasks that I want to accomplish this week. So I've got my tasks broken down into my home life, my work life with A and B energy, and then my personal life. So personal life that's the things that I do for me. So my hobbies generally, my personal care, exercise, weightlifting, meditation, journaling, things like that. That would go under personal care. Home life are things that I do either with or for my family. So that would include things like doing laundry, or if I needed to grocery shop, it includes spending quality time with Alexis and Reeves and Joseph. On the work/business side of things, I divide everything into two categories, A energy and B energy. A energy things are things that require a lot of my energy, things that will drain my energy, things that if I'm tired, I am less likely to want to do, or they get harder and harder for me to do. So I try to schedule those things during periods of high energy, which is for me typically the mornings. And so A energy things are content creation, coaching calls, things like that. But you can see I am creating content in my B energy time, which is the afternoon. And again, it's about flexibility. It's about kind of going for best case scenario, but not being able to hit that best case scenario perfectly stop you from continuing to follow through. Now, my B energy things are my lower energy tasks, meaning that even if I'm low energy, I'm still excited and looking forward to doing those things. So things like our business systems, business planning, things like that, they don't drain me. In fact, they might actually add energy to me. So they might be rejuvenating for me, or they only take low sips of energy. So a low sip of energy thing would be, for me, typically emails, provided that there's not some kind of frustration or heavy decision making involved there. Because if I do need to make like a heavy, complicated decision, if it's something that involves a lot of conflict, then that's going to be draining for me. But I still will put it as a B energy thing, because those things I would not want that to displace something that is high energy and also high priority. So things like content creation or product and course creation and coaching. So I would still put that under B, and put it for later in the day versus putting it in A and putting it closer to the top of the day when I have the most energy. So what are my top priorities in each of those categories this week? So for family, one of the things that I always try to do is spend some quality one-on-one time with Reeves. So I'm going to just stick that under home life, which I call Reeves time. Then personally, I would like to work out 3 times this week. So workout 1, workout 2, workout 3. And then on the work/business side, I set a challenge for myself to publish a YouTube video every single day. That's a big push that I've set for myself. And so far, I have not gotten to that yet. It's the whole point is the challenge forcing me to be that person that can produce a YouTube video every single day again, because I am rusty and out of practice. So every week, that is still my goal. And I'm working towards that goal and trying to tweak it and figure out, okay, what can I change? What can I do differently to get closer to that goal every single week? So we have publish video number, and I'm just going to copy this. I love I love keyboard shortcuts. Okay, publish video 1. Publish video 2, I forgot to put 3 there. Publish video 4, publish video 5. And I'm just going to drop a 3 in there. And under each of these publish videos things, I'm going to break it down into the bigger subtasks that I know I need to do in order to make this happen. Okay, so these are my main priorities for the week. The one other one that I mentioned was Reeves time. So starting with, let's put Reeves time. So here's today. I know I have tennis, and then I know this is travel time. So I'm gonna, for now, put Reeves time right here, but I want to upload video 1 today. That is my goal, to publish video 1 today. So I need to shoot the video, which I'm doing right now. So I actually should delete this. Shouldn't have created that. And then I need to upload the video. So that includes editing. And one of the reasons why I edit my own videos is because right now I still kind of shoot videos right before they need to go up. And so when you have a team and you want other people to do things, it creates levels of complexity and it creates extra time. So I need to get things done well in advance for someone else to work on it and then send it back to me for review, and then me send it back to them for any last updates, and then for me to review it again. So if I have a video that I'm shooting same day that I want to get up that same day, unless I get it done first thing in the morning, I definitely have to plan that I'm going to be the one editing that video. So this is a longer video. So I'm going to bet that it's going to take me, I have to bet that it's going to take me perhaps an hour and a half, because again, this is going to be really long just looking at the recording time that I have right now. So I'll put an hour and a half total to do everything that I need to do on that video. So then next up, I'm going to have my Reeves time. So as soon as that's the end of my workday. So today was actually a pretty long day now that I'm looking at it, but sometimes that happens. And so realistically, that's really all that I have time for today. That'll be the end of my day today. So tomorrow, my priorities, I'm going to just kick things off by just outlining my first video. It'll take me about 2 hours. I work from home, so I just roll out of bed, have my morning coffee. Typically, I'll come into my office, do a little bit of morning pages, and then hop straight into my work day. So B energy, I will have to do hair and makeup tomorrow. So that's going to take me about 45 minutes. So that goes right here. And then I am going to shoot video number 2. Put that in right here. And then upload video 2. Put that in right here. So then I know I have this doctor's appointment. I know I'm going to play tennis. And so that's really all I'm going to have the bandwidth for tomorrow. So I'm just going to leave these open spaces. I'm going to do whatever I feel like doing tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I might have some ideas about what I might want to do with that extra time, but also it acts as buffer time. So if these things take me longer than I thought they were going to, then I've got an extra hour to play with. But you see, I've got something from 4 to 6. So I don't have that much buffer time tomorrow, like past this doctor's appointment of mine. Like my day is done basically by 2 o'clock tomorrow. So it's good for me to know that today. So now let's move on to Wednesday. And this is like we're chugging along. So this is very similar. I'm following a very similar pattern each day. So shooting video number 3 then. And now I will need to upload this video after this coaching call. But I know I need a little bit of buffer time after a coaching call because this is a draining activity for me. So shooting plus coaching. So I'll definitely want a little bit of relaxation time afterwards. And so then I'll come back to uploading this video. So now I've got a little bit of time here in this evening and I might, or this afternoon. And so I might decide that maybe I want to start outlining a video again on Wednesday. But in reality, I'm not going to plan for that. I'm just going to give myself a more spacious calendar on that day. And so we're going back to outlining video 4 and shooting video 4, which I've got to move starting laundry to before I shoot video 4. And boom. And then this is when I will meet with Alexis. Then I will upload this video. And then I've got a clear afternoon when it comes to, well, what do I want to do for the rest of that afternoon? Because my afternoon is so spacious, I'm going to just go ahead and decide I'm going to take a longer lunch. And then I am going to give it extra time to outline the video because I know that this is an A energy thing, but I'm trying to do it in the afternoon, which means it's going to take me longer. I'm just going to drop in the hair and makeup things because if I am shooting videos every day, then that means I need to do hair and makeup every day. My ideal week, I will have outlined all of these videos in advance and been able to bulk shoot 2 days out of the week so that I don't have to put on makeup every day, but that's not the case for this week, and that is okay. So now I will just be shooting video 5, which will take about an hour, and then I will upload video 5, which will take about an hour, and then that will be the end of my week. Now I'm going to go back through, I'm going to add my Reeves time every day, and I'm going to add my workout time. So because I'm playing tennis 3 days in a row, and then one of them is a match, I'm not going to weight train until Thursday. So I'm going to put workout number 1 on Thursday after work. Then I'm going to put workout number 2, I'm going to say on Friday. So I'll make sure that I'll pick out a workout where I can work out 2 days in a row. So probably upper body on Thursday, lower body on Friday. I'll work out using my tonal at home. And then workout number 3, I'm going to put on Sunday morning around 7 a.m. Yep, that's about right. And so my workout schedule is in, and now I am going to put in my Reeves time. So I'm going to I don't think I'm going to, I think I can make it home between these two. Nope. I don't think I can count that I'll make it home between these two. So that means my Reeves time has to be either earlier or later. I'm actually going to, making it a little bit later. And then we'll just spend the whole evening together. I'll just block off that time for him. And then Wednesday, let's make it 4 o'clock. Nope, it needs to be earlier. Let's say 3 o'clock. There we go. And then Thursday, we'll do another full evening together. And it disappeared, but it's coming back. And then Friday, it's typically family time. I'll just leave it open. I don't need to block it off. But so that's it. That is my week. That is how I plan my week. Now, of course, this took longer because I was sitting here explaining everything that I was doing, but normally the process takes me no time at all. I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts, copy and paste, and I really do the same things every week. Now, I will say that because I've decided that my priority, the thing that I'm focused the most on right now, is really just getting back into the habit, building the muscles of regularly publishing public-facing work again, that there is more video creation on my schedule than there would normally be. And this isn't necessarily sustainable for me because there are other things that I actually would need to do week over week. So things like writing our email newsletter, for example, that is something that I would typically make time for. But again, this week I've decided that my priority is going to be just putting in the reps of doing this type of work. So my weekly planning takes into account what my priorities are personally, family, business-wise, and that can vary. So 2 weeks from now, for example, Reeves goes back to school and my schedule is going to look very different because I will take him to school and I will be there to pick him up. And so my schedule is going to change there. So you want to make sure that your planning ritual is aligned with your goals, aligned with your vision for the life that you want, but also flexible and really easy to do. Now, you might ask, well, what do I do when things don't line up the way that I think they will, which always happens. It happens every single week. This is not set in stone. It just might be that I need to make adjustments. So some adjustments that I might make are like, eventually I might decide 5 videos a week is not something that's ever going to happen. And so I need to just completely nix that as a goal, because obviously it's an arbitrary goal that I've decided to set for myself because I've decided that I wanted to practice a lot at publishing public-facing work. So I could either decide I'm not going to do 5, or I could decide I need to just do them faster, which means I need to do shorter videos. This video is honestly probably going to be close to about 35 minutes long, which is a pretty chunky video. And I could absolutely decide I'm going to do smaller, bite-sized pieces so that I could still go in depth, but keep the video length to about 10 or 12 minutes. So maybe instead of taking 2 or 3 hours to outline a video, or sometimes 4 or 5, that I'll only take 1 and go really, really deep on a very specific concept, knock out 5 outlines in a single day, knock out 5 videos in a single day, take only 30 minutes instead of an hour and a half to publish a video. And let's practice that. Let's practice speed a little bit more. And I'm sure that that's something that I'm going to try. But for right now, this week, this is what it looks like. I've built in time for myself, plenty of hobby time. You might be wondering, where's the Joseph time? Well, I take breaks during the day. So I see Joseph during the day because we both work from home. When we get ready for bed, we actually get ready for bed together. So that's get ready for bed plus Joseph time because we're hanging out together. We're talking about our day. We're laughing. We typically will also shower together and all of that. And so that's my quality time with Joseph. I talk to Alexis over the course of the day, because even aside from our meetings, she will typically message me in Slack or something if something needs my attention. This is what my weekly planning routine looks like right now. And in the future, I'm going to break down the process that I use to go from life vision to goals to quarterly plans to monthly plans to weekly plans and daily objectives and tasks. So now I want to hear from you. What's one takeaway that you got from today's episode that you are going to implement in your life and in your weekly planning routine? All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.